Good morning. My name is ochakaibrahim achaye, a student at Utamo, Ghana Technology and Management University, doing a program DCOMP, and today we are going to talk about marketing and their philosophies. So marketing is a science and art of exploring, creating, and delivering value to satisfy the needs of a target market at a profit. Marketing concepts or marketing management philosophies are philosophies used by businesses to guide their marketing efforts. Basically, marketing concepts relate to the philosophy a business used to identify and fulfill the needs of its customers, benefiting both the customer and the company. Same philosophy cannot result in a gain of profit for every business. Hence, different businesses uses different marketing concepts, also known as marketing management philosophies. Now, marketing concepts are driven by clear objectives like cost efficiency, quality product, and consumer or customer needs fulfillment, etc. So today we are going to talk about four of the philosophies. One being the production concept, the second one being the sales concept or the selling concept, the third being the marketing concept, and the fourth being the societal concept. Now, let's talk about production concept. This concept works on an assumption that consumers prefer a product which is inexpensive and widely available. This viewpoint encapsulates in Sow's law, which states supply creates its own demand. Hence, companies focus on producing more of the product and making sure that it's available to the customer everywhere easily. Increase in the production of this product makes the company get the advantages of economies of scale. Now, the decreased production costs makes the product inexpensive and more attractive to the customer. A low price may attract new customers, but the focus is just not on the production. The focus is just on the production and not on the product quality. This may result in a decrease in sales if the product is not up to the standards. This philosophy works when the demand is more than the supply. Moreover, a customer not always prefers an inexpensive product over others. There are many other factors which influence this or in his purchase decision. Example, these companies are companies which have products spread all over the world, companies which have an advantage over a monopoly, companies whose product demand is higher than its supply. Here an example we could give the Century Bottling Company. They have products all over the world, so they come up with a strategy to make sure that their Coca-Cola products are every corner, everywhere, and this is evident. You can see it from what we do. Now, the next concept I want to talk about is the sales concept. Production and product concept both focuses on production, but selling focuses on making the actual sale of the product. Selling concept focuses on making every possible sale of the product, regardless of the quality of the product or the needs of the customer. The main focus is to make money. This philosophy doesn't include building relations with customers, hence repeated sales are very less. Companies following this concept may even try to deceive the customer to make them buy their product. Companies which follow this philosophy have a short approach as they try to make money rather than what the market wants. Examples of these companies which use this sales concept includes fraudulent companies. The example we could give you is what is currently trending in the market, Dunamis. Well, people paid money in hoping that they will get a better service out of it. Now, people were waiting to receive their return on an investment, but nothing was forthcoming. So that is an example of a company with short-sighted, profit-oriented goals. Now, most companies use search because it's probably once in a while, and you may find it hard for any more company or any more of their products to come up in the market and it being bought. Well, now the next marketing concept we are going to talk about is the marketing concept or the market concept. Now, selling concept cannot let a company last long in the market. It's a customer or it's a consumer market after all, right? To succeed in the 21st century, one has to produce a product that fulfills the needs of their customer. Hence, the emergence of the market concept. Now, this concept works on assumption that customers buy products which fulfill their needs. Businesses following these concepts conduct research to know more about the needs and the wants and make a product which come out that fulfills what the customer wants. Hence, this isn't the only philosophy that businesses follow. Others also are incorporated into it to make sure profits are coming out. Now, companies which use the market concepts, well, includes companies in perfect competitions. Here I could give you an example of banks in the perfect competitions. So they bring out products tailored to meet the needs of their customers. Now, lastly, one of the other concepts I want to talk about today is the societal marketing concept. Adding to the marketing concept, this philosophy focuses on the well-being as well as the society, or probably to make it more clear for you, adding to the marketing concepts, this philosophy focuses on the society's well-being. The business focus on how to fulfill the needs of the customer without affecting the environment, natural resources, and focus on society's well-being. This philosophy believes that the business is in part of the society and hence should take part in social services like elimination of poverty, illiteracy, and controlling explosive population growth. Hence, many of the big companies have included corporate social responsibility as part of their marketing activities. Now, an example here I could give you is some electronic companies, let's say LG. So they make sure their products you buy, that they give you an assumption that where you can take and recycle part of the electronics gadgets which are at fault, and they also go out to the community and teach them part of what they call their corporate responsibility, like giving back to the community. Well, as other companies also now have incorporated the corporate social responsibility, and you find that many companies also do the same. Societal, they become part, like the product is part of the environment, you own it. Yes, that's what societal marketing concept is all about. Now, thank you for listening me for this part. The next part, we are going to talk about the product life cycle, what is entailed in each of the life cycle, and probably later on we shall talk about decisions which you take at each of the stages of the product life cycle. Now let's talk about product life cycle. The product life cycle is a cycle through which a product enters the market and when it exits the market, sometimes referred to as the PLC. In brief, that's what a product life cycle is all about. Now, product life cycle has 4 stages, one being the introduction, the second being the growth, then the maturity, and finally the decline phase. Now, in the introduction phase, the product is new to the market and has to focus on marketing and advertising extensively while the sales are at its lowest. An example here, I will give the Honor juice. Now, it was extensively marketed such that it is known in the market. People get to know that this product is there, and it has different flavors. It has the apple, it has the mango, it has the orange, and people can go and try it out and test it out. So once a product is entering the market, that's what we call the introduction phase. Now, when Honor was entering the market, and the company took the decision to extensively do market such that the product is known. Now, at that stage is what we call the introduction stage, when the product is now getting to be known to the market. Now, the second stage of the product life cycle is the growth stage. In this growth period, the market has known more about the product and sales begin to rise. Here you find that now people now know that yes, there is energy, they've heard about it, they've tested it and it's good. Then sales start coming in, the demand starts picking up slightly, coming up. Now that is what they call the growth stage. Now that after it being extensively being advertised and now being known in the market, now the product begins to be bold. Each other time it's being bold, then yes, now it's the product is growing. That's what we call now the growth stage. Now the next one is the maturity stage. Maturity, in this stage, the production and the distribution channels are saturated within the product, making the budget henceforth is minimal. Here what we mean is that now since that the demand is becoming more and more and the product has grown, that it has gained mileage within the community outside there in the market, now you find more distribution points coming into place. As they are coming into place, more and more people are coming. Now that's what we call maturity. Now the product is made sure that it is available to every corner where it is needed, where the demand is. Most times this is what we call the maturity. Now the sales are high, the demand is high, and the supply is also high. Now that's what we call the maturity stage. An example still, I'll use Honor. I find that there are now many more depots or distributors coming to the company to be redistributing this. By doing so, they are creating more product being available. Hence, which means that they did an analysis in the area they are into, and they see yes, there is more demand to the Honor, and hence them being there. Here now we are going to talk about the last one, being the decline stage or the decline phase. Eventually here the product sells. What I mean is the product sales fails and the impact of the new product takes over the competition. At this point the company has to decide how low the product or how the product will be discontinued. Now for Honor, it is still in the maturity stage, so I cannot use it an example in a decline phase. An example here I would use probably is the phones, the iPhone phones. Here you'll see a new product emerges out to compete or to overtake the old product. An example is you heard of the iPhone 5, iPhone 6, iPhone 7. Now that goes in the decline phase. The iPhone 6 stops production, then they start production on the iPhone 7. Now by doing so, that's called the decline phase. In the decline phase, most times when a product phases out or their sales are low, a new product emerges which takes over the market, and the cycle continues in that way. Thank you for listening to me. Now we are going to talk about the decisions which you take in each one of these stages of the product life cycle. Now the first decision one has to take will be in reference to the introduction phase. Remember that the introduction phase is when the products are entering the market. And our first decisions which someone takes is the marketing itself. How is the product going to be known to the market outside there? That is the first decision. This is one of the decisions you make. What feasibility studies have you done in reference to the market? Is there a need? Can it meet the needs of the customers? So these are some of the decisions you take in the introduction phase. Now, at the growth stage, well, there are numerous decisions to take. Here, most times now the product is known to the market and is beginning to build up. Now, what we ought to do here mainly is, well, can we have more production going on? Can we look at different sales points since now the demand is coming up of the product? Can we have distributors in place? Now, that is the growth stage, because you're seeing the product sales are growing. Now, as they are growing, you make sure that you give the product readily available to its customers or to the market, that anytime they need, it is readily available. Now, that is some of the decisions we take at the growth stage. Now, going to the maturity stage, most times at the maturity is when the sales are at its peak of that product. Now, what companies ought to do at this stage is go do an evaluation of the product, make a product more better based on the feedback gotten from the market. Now, they tailor make a product that suits the needs or the responses gotten from the company. That's what we call, or that's the decisions we make from the maturity stage. There are very many other decisions you can make, but I wanted to bring out something to highlight you to know what you could do. Now, in the decline phase, normally, in the decline phase is when the product sales go down. Now, as the product sales go down, most time a new product emerges to take over that old one already that existing. Now, in the decline phase, most time some of the decisions you need to make is you make products based on feedback gotten from the market, or you make a product which is more better than an old one, which will outcompete the old product. Now, that is one of the decisions you might opt to take at the decline stage. Thank you for listening to me. Ibrahim Achaye is the name once again, student at Uganda Technology and Management University. I hope this has given you some insights about the philosophies I've talked about in marketing and the product life cycle. Thank you.